Howdy everybody, Jason Salas here, and I'm here with the one and only Brittany Calvo, very, very dear friend of mine, very, very dear friend of the show. She used to be a social media producer at KUM. You know her, she was out, we were doing the live streams all the time, and she has developed a new passion, a new career in instructing yoga. So Britt, thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for coming today, Jace. Thanks for having me.
Okay, are you ever truly a former athlete?
I think...
You don't play as much as you used to, basically.
Right, yeah. I don't play as the same sports that I used to. I've kind of adapted my physical activities depending on what I could do.
But yoga is kind of inclusive of so many things, you know, fitness, wellness, balance, everything.
Yes.
What drew you to the practice of yoga and teaching it to others?
That's a great question. So what drew me to the practice of yoga is I wanted something to complement the other physical activities and sports I was doing. I wasn't always the best at remembering to stretch before and after activities. So in the beginning, I saw building yoga into my routine as kind of taking care of that, at least a little bit. And as time went on, was it about 10 years ago, I broke my right ankle playing rugby. So that really changed a lot of the things that I was able to do and not do. So yoga became kind of like my anchor. So that I could still get the physical activity I needed. It's also great, like I was mentioning, to complement other sports. With yoga, we build flexibility, strength, we work on balance, and we also work on cultivating that mind and body connection, mind-body awareness.
And Britt, this is such a wonderful time to be involved in sports because, you know, we're coming off the Micronesian Games, the Pacific Games last November, you know, the Olympics just happened, so everyone's aware of the real range of sports. But everybody I talk to, everyone has tried yoga if you're at an elite level. You know, track athletes, football players, paddlers, MMA practitioners, you know, football players and everything like that. They see the benefits of incorporating this into their fitness regime.
Awesome. Yeah, and I would say also outside of the wonderful world of fitness, in yoga you could learn a lot of things that are applicable both on and off the mat in other areas of life.
There you go too, because sports can be really, really high stress, and a lot of people, you know, especially for like contact sports, athletes are just naturally very, very intense. You know, you played rugby, and that's like super high tempo. Do you feel that like yoga gives you like a really good balance of that to counteract, you know, and like center yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yoga when I was doing it with rugby, and also more recently with yoga with surfing. I think yoga, the mind body that I was talking about, and just being able to find that place of stillness, that center within yourself, and it'll just kind of ripple out.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. I know many surfers and divers who do yoga too, because they were like, it keeps me limber and it really keeps me, you know, have the ability to move, you know, in a completely different environment. Yes,
yeah, and I think especially for surfing, you don't really always know what kind of shapes your body is going to go into if you like fall off a wave. So just getting ready as best as possible for that.
There you go. And Britt, I appreciate the fact that you brought up that you had a pretty substantial injury, and that is one thing that yoga can really help for any athlete, regardless of what level you're at, like out there and everything like that. If you are post-operative, if you've just got like, you know, like a pretty bad ankle sprain or something like that, even concussion, I've heard of like athletes getting into like yoga and everything like that. It really keeps them like balanced. How did you find in your own practice that, you know, having your bad ankle now and everything like that, because, you know, you seem incredibly, you know, limber, agile now.
Yeah, I think what yoga did was it really gave me that time and space to notice the differences in, you know, my left side versus my right side, or yesterday versus today. And I have noticed change in the right side of my body. Like for a long time, I wasn't able to feel the stretch in my right calf muscle, but sometime in the past year, I started to feel it again. And at first, it was kind of concerning, like, oh, why do I feel strain there? But then I really thought about it, and I was like, wait, this is good, because I haven't felt anything there for a while.
There you go. And you know, athletics is so much different than when I was playing when I was like in the late 80s and the early 90s, when it was just like you said, you know, we didn't always stretch the way we should, or, you know, we just did the whole thing where, you know, like you bounce for like 30 seconds at a time. That's not the right way to do things, people, and everything. Now you have like dynamic stretching, you know, nutrition is much different, mental strength and mental acuity is so much different, and a lot of people, like I said again, are really incorporating like yoga into how they can like really take their game to the next level.
Love it.
Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
where do you recommend people come out there? Because we're on Tumon Bay, it's a beautiful day and everything. Why would you not want to do this?
Yeah, it's amazing. So I teach here at the Dusit 6:30 in the morning. We have classes Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. here at the Dusit with this beautiful view. That's through Synergy. Dusit also has their own 6:30 a.m. classes on the weekends. I also teach at at Hyatt.
There you go.
Wednesday evenings at 5:30.
She's teaching so much,
if you're
everybody.
not a morning person,
Get on her Google Calendar.
Come to the sunset session.
Okay, and then final question, Britt, because like I've done so many interviews with practitioners of yoga, so many wonderful people on Guam really like spreading the word about yoga. But we always talk about like again elite athletes, Olympians. I've done yoga with several Navy SEALs over the years. How young can you be? Like little kids? Because you go to the Guam Football Association, that little jamboree, you get like 6 and 7 year old kids like running around. How soon can they start?
That's a good question.
There is youth yoga,
I
know.
This somewhere in my head. There is definitely youth yoga and yoga and mindfulness for kids. I know my Auntie Calvo with Synergy, she just did something with the kids, I think at Ocean View.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want to
Because your body's still developing, you're young,
Yeah.
and I mean, it is a discipline.
Yes, and it is really nice. I've seen some kids' yoga classes, and the way they kind of adjust to the younger audience is really fun. Like name how many things you can hear.
There you go.
In your head, but I don't want to put out a number and it be wrong or an age.
But you can start when you are young.
Yeah. Yes,
Hey, well,
absolutely.
Man, Britt, we are super proud of you, and even more to the point, super appreciative of the contributions you're making to Guam sports community.
I'm so happy to be here. Happy to be home.
All right,
Thank
that's
you,
Brittany
Jason.
Calvo. Check her out. Yoga at any level of sports, really gonna accentuate your game.